am with Dr. Fons Trompenaars, Dutch organizational theorist, management consultant, and author of the book Riding the Waves of Culture, Understanding Diversity in Global Business, and several other books on cross-cultural management. Many people are familiar with his 7 dimensions of culture, a model for understanding differences between cultures or between these countries.
Yeah, I do very often the business culture in the context of general culture. So if you say the British are indirectly speaking, that's called obviously that has a role in how we do business.
Yeah.
Is the meaning of a word, which for one English person can mean 5 things, and for the Dutch, interesting is one word. It's interesting, right?
Okay.
And in England, it can mean anything, depending on the context. How was the workshop? An interesting workshop.
Right.
Even the tone of voice says, is it crap or is it brilliant? Right? The same word. Yeah. For me, on the business side, I think communication is one area. In that sense, Germans are much clearer if they would be good in English. Yeah. The Italians, in terms of communication, I think you need to be a lot with them to really understand them. And that also one day they can say the opposite from the other day, depending on the particular circumstances. In a business culture, I think the beauty of England in particular, because we very often talk about England rather than the UK when it's about business culture. I think the gentleman's agreement is fantastically understood in the UK. What I find is once you are on a gentleman's agreement, the lawyers will follow, and then the lawyers are taken very seriously. But it's about, if English people tell you and you really understand them that we're going this way, you can trust on that, right? And that's also true with the Germans, not so true with the Italians. And not because any one of them is malicious, but the Italians have to, again, discuss it with their bosses who are not there at the meeting and might change opinion. And they expect you to understand that, right? So they're much more zigzagging. At least the Germans are straight to the point, very efficient. Their problem is flexibility. Once you have gone through a road, step by step in a sequence, and you want to divert from the road, you're 3 years away from it because they are very straight, also straight to the goal. But if the goal is changing, you have trouble in getting the new line, and they have to rediscuss it. So the Germans are very efficient, but not very effective. The Italians are very effective, but not very efficient. And the English, who knows? It depends on what they say. Yeah.